What is up, everyone? Rick Grimes for President here, bringing you another video. And this isn't a review video. This is the video that I've been wanting to do since I got back. It's the Walker Stalker, the Walker Stalker Con video. And I'm super excited to do this video because it was such a crazy thing to go to and such an awesome convention. And I'm going to tell you guys all about it and tell you my experience there and hopefully see you guys at Walker Stalker Convention next year. So, Walker Stalker Convention was on November 1st through the 3rd, I believe. And I went on the 2nd, on the Saturday, because that was the day where most of the big name guests were going to be there. And I'm just going to go through here and read off, if I can find my stuff. Some of the guests that were included there were Norman Reedus, Daryl, Andrew Lincoln, Rick, let's see, Sarah Wayne Callies, Lori, Greg Nicotero, the special effects creator of The Walking Dead, Danai Guerrera, who was Michonne, Melissa McBride, Carol, Laurie Holden, Andreas, Scott Wilson, Herschel, Stephen Yun, Glenn, Chandler Riggs, Carl. Good Lord, I mean, there was everyone there from the main cast was at this convention. I mean, you can't imagine how excited I was as a huge Walking Dead fan to go to this convention and see everyone at this convention, guys. Like, good Lord, that's crazy. So it was at the Atlanta Convention Center in Atlanta, Georgia, and so I went down Friday. Went down Friday night, and me and my girlfriend stayed in a hotel down there Friday night, and we stayed in an awesome hotel. We were gonna go down Saturday really early in the morning, but we decided to go down and stay Friday night. So we got a hotel that we thought was a few blocks away from the venue, but we found out that it was right across the street from the venue. And which was awesome because right when I got there, I could see the venue and see like inside and see all these Walking Dead fans, and I freaked out. And it was crazy right when we got there, and I knew I couldn't do anything about it on Friday because our tickets were for Saturday. So Friday we just kind of hung out and explored Atlanta, and we went to Will Call and picked up our tickets for Saturday, and we went to two really cool locations. I know you guys remember the very first episode of The Walking Dead, the big tank scene, where Rick rides the horse, falls off his horse, drops the guns, and has to go hide out in this tank. Well, I went to the exact spot where that tank sat and the exact location where that scene was filmed. And it looks completely different than what was on the show because they blocked off and green screened a lot of stuff. But it was so awesome to be there. And also, this was either the first or second episode when you see the huge glass building and you see the silhouette or the reflection of the helicopter flying past the huge glass building. Well, we got to see that huge glass building and see, like, basically from Rick's point of view where he was looking at that helicopter flying, right there and seeing the reflection of that. So that was amazing, being, like, right there where they filmed everything, and having the cast right there. So Friday was, fun in itself, but Saturday was the big day. So Saturday we woke up super early. Lines opened at, I think the convention opened at 10 o'clock. We were in line by 8 o'clock, of course. It wasn't really huge lines. It wasn't super crowded. It was very organized. The lines were. The convention itself wasn't so organized just because it was the first convention. The guys that put it together, James and Eric, big shout out to them, big thanks. But they're just two Walking Dead fans basically, and they decided to put this together, and they basically started planning it in April. So think of that. They started planning this thing in April and had it in November and got all this together within 5 months. So that was something huge for them. They had never done this before, so of course it's going to be a little bit unorganized. I expect next year to be better, but it was a little bit crazy here and there. So we got there, and the first thing that we went to was a face-off panel. If you've ever seen the TV show Face Off, where they do special effects makeups and stuff like that. And it's a really, really awesome show, really fun to watch. We went there, and a finalist on this year's season of Face Off, Roy Woolley, and another fan favorite, R.J. Hattie. I believe his name's Hattie. I'm pretty sure. Um, yeah, he was there, and they were really, really funny guys. Both of them were really awesome. I got to ask a few questions there, and it was really cool being able to just go from watching them on TV to seeing them, live and in person, sitting, 10 feet in front of me. And it was hard to comprehend really, because like right when I got there and I was listening to them talk, I still felt like I was sitting at home on a couch watching TV. And this was just from the show Face Off. So imagine how it was when I actually started seeing actors from The Walking Dead. So that panel was fun. And as soon as we left that panel, a friend of mine, Zach Wallace, and his girlfriend Brittany went as well. So as soon as we left that panel, me, Jenny, Zach, and Brittany were all leaving the panel and going back towards the convention, and we see Greg Nicotero just walking along, going up an escalator. And Zach freaks out, and Brittany and Jenny both freak out like, and I don't know why, but I was the calmest person when I saw Greg Nicotero. And I saw him, and I waved at him, and I was just like, "Hey, Greg!" And he turned around and waved, and I wasn't even freaked out at all, and it was crazy. I don't understand. It didn't really. I guess it still hadn't set in yet, but it will, and it did. So the next thing we did is we actually went into the convention, and right when we walked into the convention, there was a huge crowd of people. We decided to check out some of the little vendors that were there. There were tons of vendors here. If I show you the list, I'll show you. Here's the Stalker Con Survival Guide. The list of vendors was crazy. Like, all those are vendors. And that's the map of the place, if you guys can see that pretty good. So that's what the survival guide brochure thing looked like. Of course, I had to get one. So we went and looked at the vendors, and then I said, screw it, I can't take it anymore, I gotta go see the cast. So we walk around the corner, and there sits in a line at their little booth, I believe it was Tyrese, followed by Beth, followed by Herschel, followed by Glenn. And as soon as I saw them, I mean, I was freaking out. I was like, holy crap, they're right here in front of me. I honestly can't believe all these actors are right here in front of me, like 10 feet away. So, of course, we snapped a million pictures. And if you guys want to see the pictures, I have tons of pictures. I'm going to post a link in the description below if you're watching it on YouTube. If you're watching it on Facebook, then just go to my Facebook album, Walker Stalker Convention, and look at all the pictures. So I went, and first thing we did is I had to get issue 100 signed by Glenn. So I got out my $40. Cost about $40. Every person charged somewhere between $20 and $40 for an autograph. So I went to get issue 100 signed by Steven Yeun, and picture to prove it. There you go. That picture of him signing this right here. So that was really neat. And if you're a comic book fan, you know why this is a huge issue for Steven Yeun to sign, for Glenn to sign. So no spoilers in the comments or anything like that, but you know why. So that was amazing. We got to go up, we got to shake his hand. I was speechless when I was talking to some of the actors. Like, I went through Tyrese's line, and you were allowed to just go up and say hello, shake their hand, tell them how, much of a fan you were. So I went up to Tyrese's table, and I shook his hand. I said, hey, man. He goes, hey. And then I just walk away because I couldn't say anything else. I was literally lost. I mean, I couldn't say anything. I was speechless. I shook his hand, and then I was wanting to, sit there and have a conversation with him, but I just couldn't. So I just walked away, and I was just like grinning from ear to ear. I do the same thing with everybody. I mean, I talked to Beth for a minute. She's really cool. She's really chill. And there were some people that I didn't get to meet that I wish I got to meet. I didn't get to meet quite a bit of people, actually. I didn't even get to see Chandler Riggs. I didn't get to see Carl. I don't know why I forgot that. I didn't get to see Carl at all. And I was really bummed out about that because I wanted to get his autograph. I wanted to meet him. I got to see Michonne, but I didn't get to meet her. Got to see Carol, but didn't get to meet her. Got to see Andrea, didn't get to meet her. Lori, didn't get to meet her. Those lines were huge, and everything was just crazy, and we didn't feel like waiting because we had so much other stuff to do. Got to see Norman Reedus, but I didn't get to meet him. I got to meet almost everyone else. I got to meet Herschel and shake his hand. He's the coolest old man you'll ever see. As you'll see in my album, he's crazy. He really is. But the big thing that I wanted to make sure I did was everything Andrew Lincoln, everything Rick Grimes, of course. Rick Grimes for president. You know the YouTube name. So we go to the panel, the Andrew Lincoln panel, and it gets delayed by 30 minutes. So we're already in there. We're sitting there, waiting anxiously. And the 30 minutes passes, and finally they announce that Andrew Lincoln's come out. He comes out, and I just start shaking, and I start freaking out, and I like a girl at a mall. I mean, it was ridiculous how I don't know, just the rush that I got from just seeing my favorite actor on my favorite TV show right there. And him and his British accent was hilarious. If you guys didn't know, he has an English and British accent. But he does his southern accent on the show. So that was awesome. We went to the panel, and right at the beginning of the panel, the James and Eric were up there, and they said if anybody wants to ask questions, now is your time to get in line. We can take about 6 questions. I was the second in line. That's how fast I got up and got into the line. So I was sitting there probably 10 yards from the stage. I was standing there waiting for my turn in line to get on the microphone. And you can watch the video of me asking the question, and there's so much about it. It was the craziest thing ever. Because everybody else was asking questions, and he was answering them and then telling them, thanks for your question. I get up there, and I go, hey, Andrew, how are you? And he goes, fine. And then he asks, what is your name? Nobody else there at the panel he asked nobody else what their name was. So he asked my name, and I said Josh. And he said, hello, Josh. Nice to meet you. Then I went on and proceeded to ask my question. My question was that, does the show take a toll on his actual life? Like, does he go in the grocery store and have to watch his back or anything like that? Everybody laughed, of course. And he started telling a story about how he was in the shopping one day for some aubergines, as he called them, and eggplants in American. And a guy came up to him and said, hey, Andy. And he said, hi. And he said, don't you remember me? And Andrew said, no, I don't think so. And he said, oh, well, you stabbed me in the head last week. And everybody laughed, and he looked at me and he said, Josh, this is my life. When he said my name twice, and not saying anybody else's name there, I could just feel that he knew that I was a huge fan, and I don't know how. I know that sounds probably childish, but whatever. It was amazing, and I loved it, and it was crazy. I know this video is going on forever, but I'm so excited about talking about this, so just keep watching or cut it off, whatever. But if you want to stay to the end, I have something to show you, which is amazing, so you should look at that and stay to the end and watch it. So after the panel, of course, I was shaking and freaking out, and so we went, got some food, and kind of chilled out for a minute. Went to look at some of the stuff, some of the convention stuff. I bought a cool T-shirt. I'll actually get that T-shirt and show you guys. It's this Keep Calm T-shirt. Give you guys a second to read it. It was pretty cool. They had tons of awesome stuff there, and I wish I would have brought more money because there was so much stuff that I wanted to buy and I didn't get a chance to because I was just, I don't know, I was freaking out. I know I've said that a bunch of times, but I really was. I was freaking out like crazy. So the next thing we do is we go, like I said, look at some of the vendors, walk past the cast again and freak out every time we walk past them, even though we've seen them 30 times by this time. And we wanted to wait in Norman Reedus' line. We really did. But his line was so long. Like, it was a 3-hour wait time. And the reason we didn't want to, get in line and wait is because we had an Andrew Lincoln professional photo ops picture at 4 o'clock. Yeah, that's right. We got to stand beside Andrew Lincoln and take a picture right beside him. It was crazy. That's what I'm going to get to. So we went to that, and they started calling us to go line up for the Andrew Lincoln photo op. So we did. It was 4 o'clock. We lined up. We kept lining up, and we continued to line up. It hit 5:15, and we had still not lined up. Everyone had still not lined up. And there were two different types of passes here. There was a VIP pass and there was a general admission. This is the first Walking Dead convention I'd ever been to. I didn't know what it was going to be like, so I just went cheap, bought the $45 general admission, which isn't bad price, $45, and I bought the general admission ticket for Saturday. Everybody there had VIP passes, which were like $150 or something like that, but it got you to the front of the lines of everything, autographs, pictures, just meeting them. It got you in front of everything. So I think next year I'm definitely going to buy a VIP pass, I'm pretty sure, because it's definitely worth it, because so many people got in front of me in line. It really pissed me off. But, that's what you get for paying an extra $100. So we waited and waited and waited, and finally it was our time. We could see him through the curtain. It was our time to go take an Andrew Lincoln picture. And holy crap, this was such a funny story, because we went and we took the picture with him, and we went and we put our arms around him or whatever to, take the picture, traditional stand there and smile picture. And I go, hey man, hey, how are you, man? And he goes, what's up? Like Andrew Lincoln told me what's up. He was so giddy that whole day. He was so happy to be there for his fans and everything like that. So we took the picture, which literally was like 5 seconds. We stood there beside him, smiled, and took the picture, and then the agents or whatever there ushered us to go hurry up so they can get the next picture. After I got done taking the picture, I told Jenny, I said, I don't know if I was looking at the camera or not, because I was so lost in the moment. I honestly thought I had put my arm around him, stared at him, and smiled all childish like, and not looked at the camera at all. But it turns out an hour later, after our photo was printed out or whatever, that I was indeed smiling. And here it is. Sorry that you can see the screen. I know there's a glare, but there's the picture of me, Jenny, and Andrew Lincoln right there in front of you. I know there's a glare, but there it is, guys. That's Andrew Lincoln, Rick Grimes right there. And that was so awesome to be able to have a picture with him. And I mean, it just blew my mind how crazy this convention was. Like, me sitting here talking to a video about it isn't enough. You would actually have to talk to me in person, and you would be able to see how amazing it was to be able to go to this thing. So they've already announced another one for next October. I think it's like the 17th through the 19th. So I'm for sure going to that. It's in Atlanta again. Please, please, if you like The Walking Dead, anything about The Walking Dead, go to this convention. It's more than you could ever imagine, and it's awesome. They're also having another convention in April. They haven't announced the city yet, but I would assume it's not going to be in Atlanta. It's going to be somewhere either up north or more towards the west. So I'm not too sure if I'm going to go to that one, because that's a little bit of a drive, a little bit more money. But I'm for sure going to go back in October. Hope you guys do too. And Stalker Con is amazing, just so you guys know. Talk to me in person if you want to know more about it. Like I said, this video doesn't give it enough justice. So as always, guys, thank you for watching my videos. Please subscribe and like this video if you liked it. Sorry if it took forever, but I love talking about what I love. So I don't know what I'm doing with this whole camera thing. So like my videos, subscribe, watch my Walking Dead review videos, and I'll see you guys on Sunday as always.